And for more on the Avengers blockbuster, I'm joined now by Erich Reimer. He's the host of Tech Investment Insights at Seeking Alpha. Biggest opening ever in China, also making some big records in terms of IMAX. What went through your mind when you saw those numbers coming in over the weekend?
I mean, it's clear that Endgame is the culmination of over 22 interconnected Marvel films that began over a decade ago with Iron Man. These have been some of the most successful films in history. They have resonated with millions of people across the world, have spoken to a lot of different stories, different universal values. They've emphasized heroism, sacrifice, teamwork, family, and technology, and a lot of other things. And I think with Endgame, we see all of that finally coming together in one gigantic hit. And so with Endgame now, it's on track to potentially become the biggest movie in history, potentially unseating Avatar even. And so certainly it's a worthy movie to achieve potentially that height.
Are you surprised by the response in China? Because what is it about the Avengers franchise that has really resonated with fans there?
I mean, I think that the Avengers franchise has been able to appeal to people all across the world. It speaks to common human values, the values of different people coming together to achieve common goals, of striving against big odds, of adventure, of family, and these are things that speak to everybody. And so I think that they, of course, speak to Chinese audience as well, and we've seen that as reflected in the Chinese box office, which has now contributed, as of the weekend, to about a third of the overall box office. And so definitely it's made a huge impact, clearly, in the Chinese consumer.
Now, a lot of other movies have tried to do the same, but haven't been quite as successful. Is it something about the way it's been marketed by Marvel, the way Marvel's used social media, or the way it's really just, over time gained this legion of fans there?
I mean, I think definitely it's a combination of all of them. So the movie opened a few days early in China. There were several premiere events in China with various people from Marvel Studios. Social media definitely has been big as well. They've advertised it very heavily on all the different channels. And I think that this brand awareness has grown over the past decade, has now been able to culminate in this, essentially. And so years of marketing and kind of weaving these stories together, building a interconnected Marvel universe, and the Chinese consumer clearly likes it a lot, based on the stories and woven in it.
And it's the end. I haven't watched it yet, but the title, Endgame. What are your projections for this movie? I mean, it just debuted. What do you see happening in the weeks and months ahead?
I mean, clearly based on current trends, it very well, once again, might become the biggest movie in history at the box office. There's still people, they said like it's broken something like 100 different records for like how fast the movie's gotten to 100 million to 1 billion pre-sales, all that kind of stuff. And I think definitely in the coming weeks that likely will continue. There still seems to be a lot of buzz out there. And a lot of people still are having trouble getting tickets. And so I think that definitely it's going to continue. And as for the Marvel universe as a whole, I mean, certainly, as you mentioned, it is a conclusion, essentially. Marvel does have more movies planned, certainly, but this is the culmination, basically, of Marvel as we know it, and it's clearly a big impact for that, indeed.
Erich Reimer, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.